Hi, everybody. This is Kelly from Tutoring Tips for Teachers, and welcome to our cozy Zoom chat today. We are talking about pricing and invoicing. That's what I had titled this Zoom chat, but after I thought about it, I was like, that's a lot. We may have to do a series of Zoom chats, especially on pricing, because that's a big one. So today, really all I want to say about pricing, the only thing I want to say, because this is going to segue into invoicing, is that you don't have to charge per hour. Okay. So and I'm going to do another Zoom chat on this because this is a big one. This is a really big thing for us to wrap our heads around. But you do not have to charge per hour. So if a parent calls you, they say, I want tutoring for my child. What are your prices? You know what? You don't have to give them an hourly rate. You can have a package, which is pretty awesome. You can have a subscription, which is pretty awesome. You can have a tuition fee. There are so many ways that you can price your service. So don't think that you have to price yourself per hour. I just wanted to get that out of the way right at the beginning before we start talking about invoicing. Um, this topic was suggested to me by my friend Cheryl Euling because she gets a lot of questions from new tutors, as do I, about how do I accept payment? How do I invoice clients? And I see these questions all the time on the Tutoring Tips for Teachers Facebook group and all the other tutoring Facebook groups. This is a big question that new tutors have. So this is why we're having this little chat today to talk about the best ways that you can accept payment from your families. Now, I use Tutorbird. I'm going to say that straight up front, and I love it. Love it, love it, love it. I'm not this video is not sponsored by Tutorbird. I wish it was, but it's not. I'm just telling you that I use Tutorbird because oh my gosh, it changed the total trajectory of my business. I wouldn't have been able to grow enough to get enough business to be able to leave my teaching job if it wasn't for Tutorbird. It's that like that big of an impact that it has had on my business and my life. And Tutorbird is not the only tutoring invoicing system that you can use. There's other ones like Tutor Cruncher I've heard of, and I don't know what the other ones are called. But if you Google tutor how to invoice clients as a tutor or tutor invoicing systems or something like that, I'm sure a whole bunch of them are going to come up. I used to use Wave invoicing before I started using Tutorbird, and they had a free version. I don't know if they still do, but if they do, that's a really good way to start. I would say with Tutorbird, people often ask, well, do I really need it? I don't really have that many students yet. I would say that if you have more than 5 students and you plan to grow from there, then yes, you should definitely get Tutorbird. And I'll put all these links below in the description box. I'll put a link where you can sign up for a free trial for Tutorbird. I'll put the links for Wave, and then you can check them out. But if you have more than 5 students and you plan to grow, then definitely get Tutorbird. If you have less than 5 students and you're just doing this as a tiny side hustle and you have no intention of really growing beyond that, then no, you don't need Tutorbird. And you could use, if Wave still has the free invoicing, then you could use that. And if they don't, you can use some other kind of free invoicing service. That's going to be totally fine. So here's the thing. I'm going to say this, and people may agree with me. You may not agree with me. Put it in the comments and tell me what you think. In my opinion, I think that you should not accept payments per class. And what do I mean by that? I mean, like, after you teach the class, if you're teaching them online, after you teach the class, the parent sends you a payment through PayPal or e-transfer or whatever. Or if you're teaching in person, they pay you cash or they send you a PayPal or whatever. And after each class, they pay you. I don't like that. I don't like that, and I'll tell you why. It's inconvenient for the parent. They have to remember to pay you. I have to tell you that my daughter had a piano teacher who accepted payment like that, and on several occasions I forgot to pay her, and I'm really sorry. It's not because I'm trying to rip her off. It's not because I'm trying to rob the lessons from her. It's not that at all. I totally forgot. When you're a parent, you have like so many things that you have to remember, and it's really easy to forget to make some like little small payment to somebody because you're just busy doing other stuff. So you're asking the parents to take on yet another responsibility that they probably don't have time for, and they're going to forget. Okay, they're not trying to be mean, they're not trying to rip you off, but they will forget to pay you. You're just setting the whole situation up for that by accepting payment per class. Um, and and then you're going to always be hunting people down for payments. So that's not a really good way of doing it, I don't think. I would prefer to see you charge at least like ideally a month in advance, and and maybe, yeah, a month. Let's go with a month in advance, a monthly payment package. Yes, Michelle is saying monthly payment package is the best advice I've got. I was trying to think of a shorter time frame just to kind of ease you into it, but I can't. I think a month, they should pay you a month in advance for your service. Okay, why? Because it is easier for them. Okay, they don't have to worry about remembering payments. It is easier for you because you don't have to scramble around chasing people down for payments all the time and waste your time. And it's just gonna make people think twice before they maybe no show on you or cancel at the last minute because they've already paid for the lesson. And then you can implement your cancellation policy however you want to do it. That's, you'll set it up how you want to do it, but you at least, like, they've paid for the lesson. So then what you do with it after that is your decision. But if they haven't paid for the lesson, then it's not no loss to them, right? If they don't show up. So you're maybe incentivizing people to be a little bit more um, responsible with your and respectful of your service and take it a little bit more seriously. And oh, Michelle's saying in the comments, it allows me to bypass. Let me see what this is. It allows me to bypass one of the first questions I often get, which is what is your hourly rate? So and because Michelle has a monthly rate, not an hourly rate, it's a whole different story. That's actually a really good point, Michelle, and that's something that I want to talk about when we talk about pricing in our next chat. So definitely get the people to pay you in advance, a month in advance. Okay. Now, how are you going to accept payment? Well, if you have a program like Tutorbird, it's going to be super easy for you because you can, when the student registers, when they first register, they first start with you, they first, register into your system, because Tutorbird is an integrated system. It's a calendar, it's a CRM, it's an invoicing system. It's like, it does everything. It sends reminders to the parents when there's lessons. It's pretty awesome. Okay. So when they register for Tutorbird and they come into that system, you ask them to give their credit card information so that that's registered when they register their child. So now you have all the information about, the child's birthday and what grade they're in, whatever information you think is important to collect. You have them on the calendar when their sessions are. You have the price per session or the price per month or whatever you're charging them. You have all of that in your system, okay? And Tutorbird lets you ask for the person's credit card so that every month when you send out your invoices, their credit card will automatically be charged. So you're going to set up what's called automatic payment. So first of all, your invoices are going to go out automatically every month. So that means that you don't have to do them yourself, which is huge because it takes a lot of time and it's really frustrating and it's really like not what you want to do as a tutor. It's like the most opposite of teaching and tutoring that you can get. And it's not where you want to be spending your time. So you don't have to worry about it because Tutorbird does it for you and they send the invoices out automatically. And when they send them out, they automatically charge the credit card and boom, you automatically get paid. Pretty easy, right? Now, if you don't set up that credit card, and I didn't for a long time, I have no idea why. I just didn't. So probably because I felt a little, okay, I'm going to be honest here. Probably because I felt like almost guilty about it, like guilty about automatically charging their credit card, which was silly because so many people do that. Like so many services do that. Netflix does it. They don't feel guilty about it, right? And it's easier, like I said, for the parents because then they don't have to manually pay and remember to do that and put another thing on their to-do list. So don't feel guilty about it. You're not doing a horrible thing. You're just setting up automatic invoicing and everything will be done automatically. That's how I accept payment for most of my students. I actually, for all of them, once in a while there will be like some, different situation that month where um they're not doing the full month, or they're adding on an extra service or something like that, and I'll have to do it manually within Tutorbird. But outside of that, when it's just the normal flow of the month, like that's that's all done automatically through Tutorbird. So that's why I recommend getting Tutorbird or some kind of, tutor system like this where you can do your payments automatically and then you automatically accept the credit card payment. Yes, it goes through Stripe. Okay, that's going to be the next question people ask. What about the fees? Yes, you're going to have to pay fees. And for me in Canada, I don't know if it's the same in the United States, but you set up your payment information and all of that, the credit cards, everything is set up through Stripe, which is a third party um, kind of like PayPal that accepts payments. So Tutorbird themselves don't accept the payments. They are connected to Stripe and Stripe accepts the payments. And yes, Stripe does take a fee. The fee is, I think, oh gosh, I don't know off the top of my head. It's like 3.9%. I don't want to say an exact number because I'm not 100% sure, but I'm going to link the Stripe website below so you can look it up. They do take a small fee, but honestly, because of the amount of time that you save, it's like 100% worth it. So don't shy away from credit cards just because of the fees, because it's going to save you time and you're going to be more likely to actually get paid, which is going to mean more money, right? So don't shy away from it. And then yeah, and then that's how I mean that's how I would do it. I think this personally is the best way to do invoicing and the best way to accept payments. Alternatively, like I said, you can send an invoice through something like Wave, and the person can then pay you through PayPal, or PayPal might even have a way of sending an invoice. I'm not sure. They can manually pay you somehow, like through PayPal or through e-transfer or through their credit card or whatever, manually. Um, but I don't know. The more automated you can make it, the easier it's going to be for you and the easier it's going to be for your families, because remember that they don't want to have to remember a bunch of stuff either. So you're actually doing them a favor. So try to automate it. That's my advice to you. Yes, there's many different ways you can do it. Yes, there's many different free ways, and you can piece together this and that and run around collecting payments all the time. But the best thing to do is just automate it. Just invest in a system like Tutorbird. It's not expensive. I pay like just under $15 Canadian a month for Tutorbird. It's so well worth it. So invest in a system like that and automate your invoices and payments. And that's the best way to do it. I think that is my advice to you. Now, stay tuned for next week on Wednesday again, and I'll send you out the links to your email. Stay tuned for next week when we're going to talk about pricing and how do you price your services? How do you set your price? How do you set your price per hour, or should you even set your price per hour? What are all the different ways that you can set up your pricing packages? That's what we're going to talk about next week, and that's going to be super exciting. So anyway, thank you very much for joining me for this Zoom chat. And if you have any questions about invoicing, please leave them in the comments below. If you have any suggestions of a better way of doing it, maybe you have a better way of invoicing, then tell us in the comments. We would love to hear it. And I will see you all next week. Thank you very much for joining me. Bye.